Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining us, as always, is your co-host, Jim.
Space racing. That's what we're doing tonight?
Yes.
Excellent.
Also joining us is your co-host, Hunter.
Hello.
And your co-host, Spaz.
Always going forward, still can't ride in reverse.
Nice. So folks, today
Stop this thing. We can't stop. It's too dangerous.
Jane, stop this crazy thing. Hey Shogun. So I came up with this idea because, folks, if you know me, you know that my current obsession, my game of 2020, is the wonderful Bloody Rally Show, which, if you haven't seen me play, it's like $13 on Steam. If you like top-down racing, you need to own it. So I'm playing this game the other day, and I'm like, why aren't there more space games with racing in it? Because I can only think of a handful. Oh no, Shogun, you have an ear infection? Oh no. Those are the worst. I got them all the time.
Well, use the other ear.
Oh, no, I used to get them all the time as a kid. Like all the time. And they're horrible. I've never had one as an adult, though. Have you guys had ear infections as adults? Any of you? Little side note.
I had a double ear infection back in November, December, somewhere in there.
Oh no!
I thought I was dying, and then it turned out to be like a double ear infection.
Oh damn! I never had a double. It was always one or the other. I never had both. What about you guys?
Not me, fortunately.
Thank God.
I had an earache in my eye once.
How's that work?
It's an old Cheech and Chong thing.
Oh, I should revisit those movies as an adult. I tried watching them when I was much younger, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Oh no, weirder than that. It was on a record.
Oh, well, that's where all the weird crap was. Back in the day, it was on vinyl. Like you watch Sanford and Son, and Red Skelton seems like a really great guy. Then you hear a vinyl of him, and you're like, whoa. Oh my. Wait, network error? Oh, you keep getting a network error. I thought I was saying we were getting a network error. All right, so folks, I was playing this amazing racing game the other day, and I was thinking, why aren't there more space games with racing or space racing games? It's actually, I thought it was pretty sad. So I can only think of a few. The one on the stream right now is I loved this thing when I was playing it, Orbital Racer. You guys remember that one from like a few years ago? Yeah. I tried to play it today. And so I loaded it up and I tried. It still had my preset from the last time I played it with the same equipment, the same joystick, same throttle, the same pedals. Wouldn't work at all. Didn't see any of them. So I'm like, okay. So I rebooted and then it saw them, but I couldn't change anything. Okay, I'll try with the gamepad. That didn't work either. Game is horribly broken. It's on sale now for $1.75. Y'all don't buy it. Just don't. It's been abandoned. The developer just took a dump on it and then made a Switch version under a different name. And he added multiplayer to that. Not this one, not the PC one, but he added multiplayer to the Switch version. I don't know if it's any good or not. But the PC version was amazing when it worked. But that wasn't very long because it would always either crash or corrupt your campaign file. So it was it's one of those maddening games that is great, but like that must have been what it felt to play like Starfleet 2 back in the day. Like, here's an amazing game that's just so broken in so many ways. I can't even like it.
So games that should have racing and don't, right? Because the only one I can think of that does have racing is Star Citizen. But Elite would actually be kind of neat if they had made one of those like arena things actually racing, like canyons on a planet. They put so much detail in the moons. Because they're dumb and they don't listen to me.
Well, another.
Sorry, go ahead.
Another one. No, I was going to say, another one, Jim, of that same vein is the Infinity Battlescape. We went.
That's the other one I was going to go for. We did go racing. They had gates at one point that you
in
could
the
race.
canyon. There was a full canyon race you could do, and yet, what did we get?
That's infuriating. That is.
They're like, nobody wants to do that. Yeah,
what?
Because you could make spaceship moon canyon racing into the next F-Zero kind of game, right? Like a Wipeout kind of.
Yeah.
Instead of hovercraft, it's just like rocket racing in the moon crater.
There's one like that called Hyperflight, I think, and it's like $5 right now. I don't know if it'll ever come out of early access, but it's actually pretty much what you're describing. Is like,
Jim, you know what you could do, and I'm pretty sure there's something like it already that exists. So, and I hate to bring it up, but Grand Theft Auto Online has a racing component to it, an online racing component to it, a whole bunch of maps. A lot of people can make their own custom maps.
Oh.
And so, like, there's a whole lot of you can build your own custom racing maps all day long. And you throw in, like, I don't know, some kind of like skin mod on one of those airplanes, and you could be flying spaceships through canyons in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's not that far removed. It really is.
Some womp rats down there.
Yeah, like
it's just so goofy to me, just like how it seems like it'd be simpler to do when it's not even around. Because I was mentioning to you the other day that in like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing Alliance, again, players could build racing maps all day long. They actually can in those games.
There aren't racing though in those games. I'm remembering that correctly. Not technically.
Not in the base version. No, okay. But like when you build your own custom stuff there, because there's actually like a mission editor that you can get. You can actually build them.
Oh, that's cool. But I can only think of a few others, like Freelancer. Freelancer had one racing level. One. It was great. I loved it. And that was it. That was the only racing in that entire game.
Well, there's No Man's Sky where you can build racing tracks. Mentioned this before.
But are you just building the tracks, or is there like an actual like timer element?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can. So you take your base and you set up where the checkpoints are, and then you can put a leaderboard down on it. And other people, if they find your base, they can go racing on those tracks, and it tracks the leaderboard on it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. Good on them. So that's good that No Man's Sky is racing. But like, the Evercron games have racing.
Yep.
You can be challenged to races by other pilots, which is cool.
Oh wow! Now this is cool. So here's a game. I'm gonna put this in the podcast group. This is a game that I just discovered. It not only is a rocket racing simulator, but it also comes with its own virtual cockpit.
Oh God.
Oh no!
I'm telling you, look up Hyperflight. Seriously, it might be what you're looking for.
What was the game that you actually rode on a rocket just like this?
Rocket Jockey.
But it was like an old. Was it Rocket Jockey?
It was Rocket Jockey.
Because I remember you had a grapple and you'd use it on poles to slingshot around
with the Dick Dale soundtrack. Yeah, Rocket Jockey. That game was amazing.
Huh.
Yeah, I have no idea if it'll run today.
They put it in Fortnite now.
That's in Fortnite, like the Rocket Jockey.
Rocket Rodeo.
What?
Yep. It's called Rocket Rodeo, and rocket riding is here to stay.
I might have to play Fortnite now. But I can only just think of like two other games that had racing in it, besides the ones you mentioned. Ring Runner, remember that game? Ring Runner, Flight of the Sages? That has racing in it.
Oh, yeah.
That game is great, by the way. If anyone doesn't own that one, you can usually get it for like $1 on sale, and it's got like dozens of hours of content, like a great campaign, great multiplayer. Like, it's an amazing game that everyone who is listening to this should own. And finally, 3030 Death War was the only other one I could think of. What's it called? Death Ball? Where you're chasing the ball around a course. It's in like 1 or 2 systems, and you actually like you can make a lot of money racing in 3030 Death War if you're good enough. If you have a good enough ship and you're a good enough pilot, you can make a lot of money racing.
Rocket League has neither rockets nor racing.
That's true.
But you can play car foosball.
So let's talk about like you mentioned.
We did build a racing level into Quintet, so there is that.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, why?
Well,
yeah.
We played it a couple of times. You have 10 rings that'll just randomly spawn, golden rings that you have to fly through, and your ship has to be the first one to fly through it in order to collect. Whoever gets 10 rings wins. But of course, combat was also an option, so you could shoot the other players or use your ship's abilities to distract them. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
That sounds great.
And we streamed it. I mean, we streamed it with you guys. So yes, we did.
It must have been.
You don't remember. I know you don't remember, but then again,
I don't remember the racing part, but I remember playing Quintet with you guys.
I do remember playing Quintet, yes, but I don't remember that specifically. But it's been like 6-7
It's been years. It's been years.
Yeah. So please forgive me for not remembering that.
No worries.
But yeah, why doesn't like Elite launched that whole close quarters combat thing that no one played because it was terrible. But if they had launched like a racing thing, like SRV racing, why the frick haven't they done that? You'd think that'd be so obvious.
I've got to ask this one. Does Super Bombad Racing count?
Wait.
Only Star Wars Racer accounts.
They're pretty close.
I mean, they're in that F-Zero kind of vein.
Right. They're more that's more hover racing rather than like racing in space. But yeah, we could throw that on there because why not? But like why doesn't Elite have racing? Why didn't Star Wars Galaxies have racing of any kind? You know? Like,
well, so the thing that I think you're hitting the head on is like built into the game racing, because I know that like in EVE Online they've set up like racing circuits where like players have done racing in the game where they actually set up. Yeah, it's all player set up, so it's like the objectives are set up to the player.
But that's fine.
Like I think
if you have the mechanics to be able to do that, that's fine.
I think there was some kind of racing stuff that they set up in Galaxies back in the day, but again, it was all player set up. And that's where I was going with the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing Alliance stuff. The players had to make it, but like, you could do it in those games. But again, it's not like, something that was easy necessarily to get into or find or do.
Oh God, right. Jumpgate had player run races. I remember that, Tilton. I remember watching one now that you mention it from the sidelines, because I didn't really participate in things. I just watched things. That's right. It was in the Sim, wasn't it? Was it in the Sim?
You know what would be awesome is if Star Citizen gets the racing right, but they also put in track betting. And then you can just watch people race and actually bet. Because
the house gets
when people
a cut.
are betting money, but when people are betting money on your ass, the pressure is real. And then probably people would come kill you if you lost. So you can end up with some Marcellus Wallace
I lost so many credits on you. I lost so many credits on you.
I need you to throw the race.
Yeah, I need you to throw the race. I was just thinking that.
Let this guy win.
there is one in SGO where it's a story mission. In fact, there's a story mission in which you have shuttle racing.
Oh man!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's true.
Okay, that's kind of fun. But
I think great. I think the core component though that you're getting at is there's not a lot of like direct focus on it, and that is sad.
Even if it's part of,
Indeed.
It's like even if it's part of like Evercron has racing missions, so at least it's in there. You know what I mean? Like Ring Runner has racing missions, it's in there. Like I mentioned Freelancer, even though it only had that one racing mission and it was a story mission. It's not like you can go find racing. It was just that one thing, and that was it. It just boggles my, like, again, like why doesn't Elite have racing? Why doesn't, I mean, Star Citizen has racing, but does anyone play it? Have they updated that in 18 years? Probably not.
Well, Elite could put racing in, but it'll take them about 2 years.
They got to get those super carriers done first, yeah, or whatever the hell they're called.
Well, I mean, they could just be like, yeah, we're going to put some gates up. Yeah, it'd take about 2 years. Because they're so goddamn slow.
It wouldn't be hard to, I can't imagine it'd be that hard to just be like, okay, this moon has a few racing courses on it. Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't you think that would be a thing that would be happening in the future, is vehicle racing?
Absolutely. I bet there's people there that would do that kind of shit in a heartbeat, but Braben won't let them because it like screws with the sanctity of, it's gotta stay aligned with what went down in 1984.
It's just dumb.
But yes, yeah, it's dumb. It's hella dumb.
Well, Tealton, no one's talking about just warping to the end in Eve. Like, I think Hunter was explaining it, that you had like, am I right? You had checkpoints you had to go through. It's not just like
no. So it's not like you're just like warping from system to system to like, and you're just all like click and you're done. There was actually like objectives, because there was some stuff where like you had to go to a certain point in system, and then you actually had to manually fly to like another point, and because there's like the people who set it up would actually put cargo containers in certain spots that you'd have to get to, and you couldn't just like warp to them. You actually had to like engage your afterburner, so people would fly like in interceptors, or they would like deck out certain ships for certain things. But yeah, it was pretty interesting like how they did it, because I think you'd actually have to like grab something from one of the containers or put something in one of the containers as like the checkpoint before you could go on to the next objective or whatever it was. But again, it was all made by the players. The players, built the tracks essentially and built where you had to go. So
right. I mean, that's good that you have some creative players that can use in-game mechanics to make that happen. I'm all right with that, but it's still like, I'm thinking of so many space games that could have used racing. I mean, the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, like the whole flying through the hoops thing, was such an integral part of training. Make that like a thing you do to kill time, like between missions. Like this is what our pilots do between missions to blow off some steam, and give them a race. I mean, I just
even Arma put in racing. Do you remember?
Yeah, they had that carts DLC thing. The carts thing, yeah.
Why? I can't even explain why they would do that, but
because they can. Because they ask what's his name? Wasn't Jordan? Ask him. You might know.
Now that I remember it, Knights of the Old Republic had the speeder racings built into it as side missions.
That's true.
I forgot. I haven't played those games.
The game that should have had pod racing right from the get-go, and yet, okay. So we have Star Wars Racer on Steam. I won't mention Super Bombad Racing because that game didn't really happen, but there was also Star Wars Racer Revenge, which I think was the best one, and I don't think
that was actually
ported.
that was actually the sequel to,
and so good,
yeah,
so good. I load up my PS2 sometimes just to play that one because it's such a good game, such good racing.
Yeah, that was like the Star Wars equivalent of Wipeout. Pretty much. I mean, it's like they're on the same level with me.
I agree.
But I don't understand why we haven't had even that. Like Disney, come on, just
port it over to PC. I would buy Racer's Revenge on Steam in a nanosecond. You put that on GOG
or GOG.
You put that on GOG. You have my money.
Or just develop a brand new one. All right. But they don't want to touch anything that wasn't their trilogy, I guess. I don't know. Dumb.
Yeah, I don't like. Didn't The Last Jedi have a casino planet? There's no racing there though, but it was a casino planet, right?
Well, there was racing. There was actually horse racing.
Oh, really?
Something
whatever
to it.
Giant horse dog things.
Oh God, I must have blocked that out. Like most of that movie.
You probably should have blocked that out. That was a horrible side adventure in that entire film.
I was also very drunk when I watched that because why would I watch that sober?
You know, I'm jealous of you, Brian. You blocked out the worst part of that film. You know, that's frustrating.
I've completely forgotten about it. That's great.
Wait, there was a film?
Dude, to me, everything between the first crawl and the end credits was the bad part. And that opening crawl wasn't all that good.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
But it's just like there are so many games like Drox Operative could have had racing, Void Expanse, like all these like kind of open games that we've played.
Okay. All right, here's a racing sim nobody has ever. Extreme train racing.
You know what? There's racing of everything else. I mean, there's a truck racing game,
and it could be multiplayer, and you get teams of 8 people. You have 8 people that run a train, so it would be kind of like what is that game with the airships, the Skies of whatever that we've.
Guns of Icarus.
Guns of Icarus, yeah. So imagine Guns of Icarus, right? Because you have to have people like run around and fix damage to the train, and then there's like cars that have guns on them, and you pull up and just broadside the other train. Oh yeah, and you know, like somebody has to be up there like shoveling coal in the engine, and yeah, I could think of ways to make that hella good and dumb.
Hang on a second. It looks like there is a train racing game. 1 second. Oh, it's a mobile game. It's a mobile game. Yeah. It's a 2-player
remember
mobile.
In World War II they had trains with guns on them. It was like an armored train. It was think about a giant tank on train tracks, right? So
and they'd be in hidden cars where the things would like flap away, you know, it's like, oh look, it's a gun on that thing. Oh no.
Or a Wild West game where there's 2 trains and you have to rob each other. You rob each other.
Well, I mean, there's Bounty Train, but that doesn't really have racing in it.
No.
Yeah, that's more of a like XCOM train game kind of.
Well, you know, in Red Dead Redemption 2, you could steal the train and drive it around.
You totally can, yeah.
Really?
That's the mode they need to put in Red Dead 2 is train racing. There it is.
Maybe in the online thing. That's where the really wacky stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I'm going to suggest it to him. Train racing.
Did you see the other day that someone was like, we don't use Zoom for our meetings. We use Red Dead Redemption 2 for our meetings.
Excellent.
Really?
Excellent. I joked that I was going to like so that we could all meet in there, like set up a Minecraft server and just like reconstruct our data center, like all the rows of cabinets and stuff. No. And that way, when we're talking about servers, we could actually point out.
We were going to use that Trek thing
maybe
as like
Second Life, but it's a little.
We were going to use that Trek thing as a virtual meeting place, and we never got around to it. We need to give that. What was it? Trek X or something? What was that thing called?
Yeah, the Star Trek Voyager, Elite Force thing, yeah.
Right? RPGX, yeah, that thing. I got to give that a whirl.
Or the Orville one.
Yeah, the Orville one would work.
Yeah, that would also work, wouldn't it? That would also work once they add stuff to it. But I'm gonna try that
Well, they have been adding stuff to it.
When was the last patch it got? It's been a while, right? Been a little while.
You know, I don't remember offhand when it was. I have to check, but they have been updating.
That's good. That's good. That's definitely a game. We don't know when the show will be out, but that's definitely a game that definitely deserves more attention.
Yeah, what gives?
Well, it was supposed to come out late this year, but that was before all this crap happened. So who the hell knows anymore?
What? I thought it was supposed to come out like early this year, you know?
No, late this year.
No.
Late this year on Hulu. Exclusively on Hulu now. Which is interesting. But yeah, so it was originally planned for late this year. And now, because, no one's making anything, because no one can make anything, no one knows. Like Eric Kripke tweeted about The Boys the other day. He's like, we're almost done. We're working on everything remotely. We filmed everything before this happened. But like, not a lot of shows are that lucky, By the way, folks,
I saw that the guy behind Black Mirror said recently that the way the world is right now, it's too dark for another season.
Oh,
and
damn!
I can't disagree with that statement.
Damn, I've never even seen Black Mirror, but I get it. Damn.
Oh, it's good. It
sounds like too much of a downer,
it's
man.
Really good.
Like it's just
well,
like a bunch of bummers.
There are a lot of downer episodes.
Yeah, I don't.
And
need
there's
bummers.
a few that have a genuinely. There are a few that have a genuinely happy ending to them, but most of them are more introspective and downer.
Yeah, I tried to get into Breaking Bad and I couldn't because one, it was a big downer, and two, I didn't like anybody. They were all dicks. So it's like, okay, I can't like it. Why should I root for any of you? So I mean,
with Black Mirror, at least there are people you like, even though the situation around them is a downer.
Maybe I'll give it a whirl.
It was was the one in the VR world, whatever, that was Star Trek?
That one,
Star Trek Light.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's there are characters you're gonna like, even though they're in a hellscape.
Oh boy. Maybe at some point, like, I know the wife won't watch that one because she has a very, very strict no bummers policy.
She won't.
Yeah, she won't. Yeah, she will not want to. But when you're in the correct mood for it, it works.
Yeah, maybe when things start returning to normal and I might have like actual time to myself. What's that? I don't know. No, I love my wife, he said publicly. Everything's fine. So what games, like, let's do a thought experiment. What space games, we talked about a few. What were some space games that could easily have racing inserted into it?
Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, we mentioned Elite, but like, I'm thinking.
Oh wait, Pulsar has racing. Pulsar has racing in it. In fact,
it does.
Yes. Yeah, there is a planet where the event is a race between you and a bunch of other ships, and you do have your weapons enabled, so you can, well, potentially take them out of the running.
Okay, we'll have to figure out a way to try that in one of our streams because that sounds great. I hope they eventually
we'd have to upgrade the hell out of the ship to actually make that worth it. Yeah, but it could be done. It could be.
Yeah, when you said there was racing in Quintet, the first thing I thought of was, God, there should be racing in Pulsar. That'd be like perfect.
Well, it's up to us to start the Pulsar Racing League. All right.
Well, no, I mean there is a racing thing in the game.
Well, I know that, but unfortunately, there is no multiplayer that is other players' ships. Right? If there was, then we could do something.
In a way, it's good that there isn't because, well, you don't know if people are going to cheat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But like, I could imagine like some like Void Expanse, like big open games like that could have used some racing. God. Like, why didn't... I'm still mad at Freelancer. I know I keep bringing that up, but that one racing level was so good. Just let me do other races. Let me become like a racing champion. Like, isn't that a thing in the Yakuza games where you become like a go-kart champion or something? Is that
so?
A thing?
That is depending on the game, because there's a what's it called? Pocket Racing, I think is what it's called. You have little,
the new one's
you have
got
little
drone
RC cars. Yes,
Oh.
Judgment. Judgment features drone racing, which is amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's slot car racing in one of them.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Slot cars. Yeah. There's that one, and they've mixed those mini games in. And in fact, you could say that Judgment is a drone racing game that just happens to have a really good story behind it.
But like in those games, you could like grind to become like the slot racing champion, right? If you wanted to.
Oh yeah, you totally could. In fact, yeah. With Judgment in particular, you've got different drone racing leagues, and then you can upgrade your drone. It's actually called the Pigeon. So one of the skins you can get for it is a literal pigeon.
Damn. See, that's great. That's great. Why can't more games do stuff like that? Tealton came with a great one. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw could totally have racing in it.
Oh yeah.
We got to talk to them about adding that for their upcoming DLC, which they said might be coming at the end of the year, which is exciting. They released a new roadmap yesterday.
Oh yes,
and
they updated it today.
Oh, they updated it today. Did they release it yesterday and update it today? Is that why I'm confused?
They released it on Friday and then updated it today.
Okay, because I remember like seeing it on Twitter like a day or two ago, but they must have just updated it again. But yeah, there's a mod. I mean, what?
Oh, I was just thinking, like in Elite, they have the SRV buggies,
right?
The little moon buggies.
Obvious.
Oh my god!
Make
Dude,
a racing moon. Yeah, make a racing moon where that's where you go if you want to race.
You have to. Yeah, because you have to be good driving that thing.
Oh, frack, right?
They're wiggly and squirrely as hell. And if you have to jump over craters and stuff, it does actually have rockets on it. Right?
Exactly.
And you have to fly it in the air and land
it's
right.
So
and
obvious.
All the things.
It's if Elite Dangerous had racing, I'd be playing Elite Dangerous. It's just obvious. I would actually have Elite Dangerous installed right now. And I'd be playing Elite Dangerous.
Well, their arena stuff was almost like the perfect caveat to do that, but they
right.
They just didn't put the pickups in there for the guns.
I mean, their arena stuff just wasn't that good. Maybe that's why they didn't try racing, because the arena thing wasn't that good. I mean, it kind of flopped.
The capture the flag stuff. The capture the flag stuff was good, but it just wasn't like. I mean, it was the same arena. Like you weren't doing anything. You know what I mean? Like it was like the same map. It'd be like playing. What's that? Like the two towers and like Unreal Tournament or whatever.
Facing Worlds.
Over and over again. Like it is a great map, but like
yeah.
But like if that was all that you're playing ever.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, is there anything else to this? Nope, this is it. Oh, all right.
Oh man, God, I just had another one in my head that would have been great for racing. God damn it! Now I just lost it.
Now I would have said Drox Operative would be good, except that you'd be kind of limited because the bigger your ship gets, the more upgraded it gets, the slower it moves. So
that's
you wouldn't really be able to make that work unless you spec'd out for it.
Or maybe they have tiers, like if your ship is in this tier, this is who you race against. And it's similar ships of similar size and speed. Well, close, Just had a game in my brain that would have been perfect for racing. Oh, it didn't have it. Oh my god, now I can't remember it.
It'll come to you tomorrow.
It'll come to me at 3 a.m. while I'm on the toilet. Was that?
It'll come to you at 3 a.m. tomorrow when there is no stream.
Oh yeah, when there's no stream. That's right. It'll totally come to me tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, the shuttle racing thing in Star Trek Online sounds fun.
It's a fun mission.
Yeah. Damn it. Damn it. Oh man. God, what are some other games that totally could have used racing? Yeah, like the X games. They've got everything else in there, right? Why not racing?
Yeah.
They've got freaking everything else. But, you know, it's like, what are you doing?
If you can fly a desk, you can fly a racing ship. Wait,
exactly.
No,
but there are like a lot of games. Had to go there. No, that's totally fine because you basically are flying a desk. Because the combat does feel like Wing Commander in a lot of ways, where you are also flying a desk. Oh god, I'm so upset about those games. But I mean, God, I'm just trying to think of what else could have used racing. Like so many games. Like Dark Star 1, that freelancer clone had no racing. Like, why not? No one thinks of this stuff. Except us, I guess. God damn it. God. I wonder if... I should ask the developer if he's going to add racing to Starfighter Infinity. That would be a great game for racing. That would be a great game for racing. Doesn't Vendetta Online have some kind of racing? I know they have events, but do they have any racing, do we know?
Vendetta Online, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking they might. You should look into that one. Because for some reason I'm thinking they might have some kind of racing thing going on in Vendetta Online. I'm just trying to think of space games that are like either top-down or cockpit-based that could use some racing. And god damn. Do the Starpoint Gemini games have any racing in them? I don't think they do. Which, again, boggles my mind.
Not that I know of offhand, no.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. And those would have been pretty good racing games, I think. Those have been really good racing games, actually. If you think about it.
Yeah, they've got arena stuff in there.
Right.
But not racing that I know of. No.
It's kind of amazing. Like some games some games have racing that's terrible. Like, I don't know if you guys have played Assassin's Creed Origins, but there's like chariot racing in that game, and it's horrible. It's utterly horrible. But if they could put racing in an Assassin's Creed game, why can't they put racing in a space game? Like, I know you're not Ubisoft, but like, a lot of people like racing. Tealton asks, what are some other racing game elements that you guys prefer? Oh, interesting question.
Actually, always liked the notion of that one episode of Star Trek Voyager, and there was even an episode of Stargate SG-1 that dealt with it. So it's like, corporations racing for like, rights to be the best
exclusive manufacturer or something like that. Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff, but like there was definitely a Voyager episode that had that where they were like new to the sector, and as a peace treaty they would do like a race every so often and whatnot. And so, but there's like obstacles to the race, so it's not just a straight track. I think that's the one thing that's always been like an issue for me, is like straight tracks can be fun, but like after a while it's just racing in a new environment. As where if you start adding in obstacles and adding in objectives, and then that's where I feel like it starts to become more interesting.
Well, the SEO mission I'm talking about that I was mentioning earlier is taken from that episode.
Oh,
of Voyager.
Oh,
yeah.
We're probably gonna watch Voyager eventually when the podcast we listen to that does recaps of Star Trek gets to it. The wife. It's
definitely worth a watch at least once, so that way you can at least say you did it.
Yeah,
there are some good episodes in there.
Yeah, the wife has seen it. I haven't. I stopped after season 1, I think, because I was like, "This is garbage."
that's the bad season.
As with most Star Trek shows, honestly, or every Star Trek show. Well, the original series had a pretty damn good first season. Come to think of it, that's like the only one though. I think.
And the others all had some good episodes mixed with some bad, which is why it gets better after the 3rd season in pretty much every case.
Is the episode you're talking about with Voyager design and build a race where they got the Delta Flyer? That's what Chatham's in the chat is talking about. They had
the Delta Flyer before that, I think.
Yeah, I think they had it before, but that specific episode where they had to race with it, that was what the Star Trek Online episode is based off of.
Well, Chatham's saying there are 2 race episodes. Oh, well, okay.
Well, there's one specific one though. I don't know if the other one's necessarily a race episode though.
How did they get the Delta Flyer? Did they design it, or is it like
they built it?
Oh, okay.
It's all home built because they built it due to their shuttlecraft situation, and because of the nature of the Delta Quadrant, they didn't feel like their shuttles were up to par, and they were losing shuttlecrafts. There's a whole thing about like how did Voyager have so many shuttles to begin with, but like because shuttles were being lost, they had to build something new, and so that's what they built was the Delta Flyer.
It's a cool little shuttle, gotta say.
It's pretty pimp.
I do like its design. I must admit I do. I do like its design. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Because I guess
it actually gets a refit later on in the series too.
Yeah, I guess.
By the way, yes, you can actually fly the Delta Flyer in STO.
I have one.
Oh, really? Huh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Is it a zip little thing?
Yeah, it's considered a shuttlecraft, or like a personal vehicle or whatever.
Fun. Oh, it was destroyed and rebuilt? Memory leak death says?
Well, spoilers.
Oh, I don't care. It's Voyager.
Spoilers.
I don't care. I mean, I know there's an episode where Janeway and Paris turn into slugs and have babies. I've heard about that one. So I don't.
Yeah,
care.
But have you heard about Tuvix?
I have heard about Tuvix. There's so in the Facebook groups I'm on. There's so many Tuvix memes. So
it's 1 Vix plus 1 Vix.
So
yeah, what's 1 plus 1 Vix is 2 Vix.
Oh no, they don't say that in the episode, do they?
No.
Okay,
no.
Good. Oh my god, if they said that in the episode, I'd be out. Like, no, we're not watching.
Who else has 2 Vix? Klingons,
yeah.
Oh no!
Let's not talk about this.
He went there.
Let's not talk about Discovery. But yeah, I guess it's true in like movies and stuff too. Like there isn't much racing in science fiction in general, is there? I mean, of course you have the Star Wars pod race, which is basically never mentioned again. After that one movie, like ever.
I mean, it's not like they have to keep mentioning it all the time, though. It's just like, hey, yeah, I used to be a pod racer. Hey, did you know that I was a pod racer? Hey, guys, pod racing.
You know what else they don't talk about is the Jetster's Diner or whatever the hell that.
Oh God, the diner.
Dexter's Diner.
The diner, was that the one on Coruscant that
yeah
Obi-Wan went? Yeah.
Obi-Wan, so good to see you.
Oh God.
So what I thought was so interesting about in there is on the TV they were watching Cyberball with the robots playing football.
Yeah, so they were actually watching sports, but they in episode 2 though, in the club scene early on where they're chasing down the shapeshift or whatever, on the TV screens though you can see pod racing in the background. So
yeah, do you guys not remember the old arcade game Cyberball?
No.
Yes.
No, it was Robot Football. It was like straight out of the Jetsons, because the Jetsons actually had an episode that had that in it. And yeah, it's that. The ball is a bomb, and fourth down, the ball blows up. So, don't get tackled with the ball on the fourth down. Instead of a first down line, it's a defuse line. You get it across there, and the ball timer resets. Yeah. It's a great game. They actually did a remaster of it for the Xbox One on Xbox Arcade. Yeah. Man, they could totally give me a remake of that game. I'd be down with that. But this is the thing, thinking Star Wars actually had that in it, and I appreciated it because I remembered the video game. Obviously somebody at Lucasfilm did too.
And George Lucas allowed it. So wait,
the whole thing about pod racing and the whole thing about the diner was a callback to him doing American Graffiti.
Oh, really? That makes sense.
Yeah, the whole point. Yeah, that was why it was in there, is because of his fondness for racing cars and the diner stuff. So
that makes sense. That really makes sense. So Tilton's bringing up that Ready Player One had a race. I don't remember that from the book.
I don't remember that. The whole first half of the movie.
It was a big deal in the movie.
I don't remember that from the book at all. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, it was the first puzzle. He had to figure out how to win the race.
Yeah.
God, maybe it's been a while since I've read the book because I don't remember a race. I trust you that there is one, but I don't remember that from the book at all. Huh. Interesting.
Have you not seen the movie?
No.
Movie's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll see it at some point. I'm not in, like, there's so much to watch. That's like, I feel like if I'm gonna watch something like that, I should watch Speed Racer before I watch Ready Player One.
Yes, you should.
Because I keep having people tell me that Speed Racer, if you go in with the right frame of mind, is an amazing spectacle.
Do they mean like high or what?
No,
is that the frame of mind?
No, you don't have to be, but just knowing that it's like really, really digging into how silly the show was. It's not trying to be like anything serious at all. If you go in with that frame of mind, you'll have a good time. That's what I've been told. Yeah, so if I'm going to watch some silly crap like that, we might actually watch the last Star Wars movie this weekend. Drunk, of course, with a lot of alcohol, because we're not watching that sober.
There is a riff tracks of it, and it is good.
I believe.
To be fair, it is a better film than The Last Jedi.
Well, that is not saying much, though. I mean,
it's a lot more entertaining. The Last Jedi was depressing to me. Like, I did not like it at all. But
I think My Last Dump was a better movie than The Last Jedi. Honestly,
come on, come on.
Okay, what's a worse movie, Last Jedi or Man of Steel? You have to pick one of those two.
Last Jedi.
Oof. Oh, that's rough, because Man of Steel is really bad.
Personal opinions.
I know, it's just funny.
Nah, I'm with Hunter on that one. I mean, it's yeah.
Superman 4 was the best movie.
Oh my god!
I mean,
what?
I feel like even though Man of Steel is bad, I feel like I still enjoyed it though. Like, I don't know. It had
Kevin Costner in it, at least. It had that going for it.
Yeah, he ain't bad.
No, I like Kevin Costner. That's what I'm saying. The way he died, though, I'm still mad about that. But very mad about that. Anyway, we're way off track. Track.
Oh, dad jokes, puns, funny. We're here.
Oh my god! So I'm looking through the space games I have. just to see which could like use some racing in them. And like, yeah, it's tough because like it has to be a very specific type of game. Like, I don't see Astrox Imperium having racing. You know what I mean? Like, you can put it in there if you wanted to, but I don't think that fits.
Okay, I thought of one, Brian. One, Brian, and you're going to like this idea.
Oh.
Titanfall 2.
Why don't they have racing? Titan racing and oh my god.
Not just Titan racing, but areas where you have to get out of the Titan and do the parkour.
Oh, pilot racing.
Think about that.
Shit. Sorry about my language. Shazbot. I'm going to use that from now on. Shazbot. God, yeah. I mean, the multiplayer of Titanfall 2 is so good. It's also ridiculously challenging because everyone's like amazing except you. But God, yeah. Titanfall 2 could have really used. I mean, that whole game is about mobility. You know? It's about harnessing your mobility. Oh my God. That is well done. That is a genius suggestion right there. Maybe they'll add it to Apex, whatever. No, they won't.
I'm surprised that they haven't already added some kind of mech feature to Apex.
System and Shock, yeah, we mentioned the Evacron series does have racing. All those games have racing. We did mention that. And it's pretty good. It's basically fly through the hoops, but you know, still fun. At least it's there. You know. Yeah, Titanfall 2 could have used. God, that seems so obvious, doesn't it? like so obvious. But I mean, and there are other types of weird racing games. Like there are a lot of plane racing games, which is good. Well, there are a decent amount of plane racing games, which is good. Like I don't know if you've seen all the different types of racing. There's a truck racing game. Did you guys know that? It's called truck racing, and you race big.
There's two. One's good, one's bad.
Oh, there's two. Which is the good one?
The one I own, whichever one that is.
Because I've seen truck racing. It's just called truck racing. I don't know about the other one though. Well, maybe I do.
Yeah, so there's FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and then there's World Truck Racing.
Ah, and which is the good one?
And then, well, one of them is $40. World Truck Racing is not the good one.
So I just did an interesting thing. So I went to Steam and I filtered my game list by racing. That's in my library. And one comes up that I'm not quite sure about, and that is ARM Planetary Prospectors.
What?
Can someone explain that one to me?
That has what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, that game's pretty abandoned these days.
Yeah. Oh God. I think they're still kind of working on it. Maybe. Yeah, they posted something on March 30th about like how they're still working on it. They have a Discord now. So hey, that's something. I guess.
Yeah, a unique racing one could be Audio Surf.
Oh, I like Audio Surf 1 and 2. I mean,
but you're talking about
technically racing.
Yeah, you were talking about plane stuff. Skydrift is definitely a racing game that I have not played, but apparently I own.
Yeah, Skydrift is really good, actually.
So apparently, ARM does have racing in it. It says on its store page, it's got like a racing mission. Okay, sure. I mean. But they also threw
I know it doesn't have it, but Beat Hazard would be really fun to see as a racing style.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Where if it were done as a side scroller, and then you have Similar elements, but you're racing through the level rather than the level being around you.
Right. And like maybe the rings are generated by the beat, and so you have to keep an eye out on the beat or something like that, something like that.
Do you guys remember Ballistic NG?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. I think I own that one, actually.
You do.
Yeah. You do. Just look at the library.
Is Ballistic the one where you're on the outside of like the track is actually like a wire and you're on the outside so you can like orbit all around the outside of the track, or is Ballistic the one where you're inside a track like Wipeout?
So Ballistic's like an F-Zero pod racer kind of clone. It's definitely got a lot of F-Zero vibes.
Yeah, this looks more like you're in the track, not on a tube.
Okay, so yeah, Ballistic is very much a Wipeout clone.
Yeah. And I guess if you want to get a little technical, you can play Distance. There's some flying in that every now and again, which is insane. Distance is great, by the way, if you all haven't played it. Oh, so good. So good.
It's Radial G is the one that I'm thinking of. If you want a crazy ass sci-fi like pod racing game, Radial G. Because you're on the outside of the track.
Oh wow. Yeah, look at that.
Uh-huh.
It is on my wish list. I will keep an eye out.
And it's very VR.
But apparently you don't have to have VR, which is nice.
No, you don't have to. And if you have a weak stomach, probably don't play it in VR because that game is fast as hell.
It looks great. It looks great. Oh wow! Yeah,
what about Redout?
Redout's pretty decent.
Redout's good. It's just the actual driving. It's really like weird. Like you're not just turning, but you're sliding. You're like using both sticks, and it just doesn't feel quite right.
That's how Wipeout was, except you use the shoulder buttons. Yeah. So you not only turn and you lean the ship, but you also have brakes, right? So you can like pop your air brakes out. It's like having a flap on either side of your rocket. And
what was that?
Yeah, you can tighten your turns with that.
Wouldn't the descent stuff make for a good racing game?
It could if it was faster and the levels were designed.
Oh my god, yes.
Do you remember Stun Runner?
Sure.
Yeah, Stun Runner is the thing that we haven't seen ever again.
I know, just like Rocket Jockey. Oh man.
What was that grip combat racing?
I don't think I've played that one yet.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't love it, but it's interesting. I remember the original, and then I played. They had a demo of the new one, and it was like, oh yeah, it's that.
I apparently own it. I don't know how, but I apparently own it. Okay, sure.
Yeah, there was a giveaway of it at some point.
Oh yeah, it was nothing dollars at one point.
That's a game that could have benefited from guns or something. Maybe it's got them later or something, but
I thought Grip does have racing. Oh, no. I thought it does have guns. It says combat racing.
It might. It very well might, but it didn't toward the beginning, or at least the demo track that I played. It was just straight up race. But I'm gonna say I'm not a fan of these games where it's like you have to like pick up power-ups on the track and stuff. I mean, I understand, okay, yeah, that adds some strategy about positioning and whatnot, but no. I would rather go into it with guns and you just have very limited ammo, and that's, what you got's what you got. So you shoot all your bullets, you're done.
Sort of like almost like a Vigilante 8 kind of thing, or
yeah.
You're already loaded, or not Vigilante 8, what I'm thinking of, like Twisted Metal maybe?
Bloody Rally Bloody Rally Show kind of
a
works like
weird
that.
Game.
Bloody
See,
Rally
I was
Show
a big fan
like that.
Yeah, Bloody Rally Show is honestly the closest that I've ever seen a video game get to dual track, which is Car Wars' dual track. It's Car Wars' racing expansion they had.
Oh, okay.
So imagine like Formula One cars with flamethrowers and mine droppers and shit.
Oh, yes.
On a board game.
Well, that's it. That's basically Bloody Rally Show right there. That's pretty much. But there are no power ups. You drive through a thing and you get a random weapon.
Yeah, and with dual track, it was basically like you built. It's like playing Mech Warrior. It's tabletop board game, right? So you start with what you got, and it's an attrition thing. It's like just try to take good shots. You don't have a lot of ammo.
Sounds
Shoot
great.
Through the tires.
That sounds great. So yeah, it's
one
just
possibility that might build in later. Everspace 2. Think about how racing would be in that.
Ooh.
From what we've played so far.
Ooh. Yeah, that could be cool.
That could work really well. I mean, it borrows so much from that. It borrows so much from that freelancer formula. That could totally work. Absolutely. So I guess what we're saying is, hey, space game developers, put more racing in your games. Figure it out. Because we've come up with at least a dozen candidates for you guys. And yeah, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is going to get a mod kit, so it's possible someone will make racing for it. I mean, yeah, put racing in your space game if you haven't already. This seems like a good time to wrap up, unless anyone else has anything. All right. So, folks, next week on the show, I want to talk, because I can't believe we haven't talked about this. I looked it up to make sure. I want to talk about shipbuilding in space games. Playing Nimbatus got me thinking about this. I am terrible at it, but so many games offer it and revolve around it. From building drones to building like giant ships of doom. I was hoping we could talk about space games that have building in it and like which ones do it well and which ones don't. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. Remember, there's no stream tomorrow because I have to take my brother-in-law into surgery. Well, I don't have to, but he asked and I said yes. Because I'd be a dick to say no. No, drive yourself to surgery, dude. You don't need me.
It's getting back is the hard part.
It's only foot surgery. Surgery.
And we have loads of co-op coming up this week.
Oh my god, yeah. Thursday we got 2 co-op games. We got Vulcanoids and Dying Light. And then Saturday we got Far Cry 5. So lots and lots of co-op. We have a very busy week ahead. Thank you, Jose. I hope so too. We have a very busy week ahead, and so I hope you can tune into a stream or something. Remember, we're starting at 6 a.m. now, which is, now that I'm getting more used to it, working out really well. Oh, really? Yeah, I appreciate you being willing to get up. I was not going to ask you to do that, but I really appreciate you doing it just the same.
Yeah, I'm ending up waking up about 4:30 or 5 in the
morning.
Oh
my god, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to go to bed in just an hour, and my body's like, "Hey, it's 4. Get up." I'm like, "What? No, wait. I can sleep for another hour." Nope. No, it's time to get up now.
Screw you. You're getting up now.
Then what am I going to do? The stream doesn't start for 2 hours. What am I going to do for the next 2 hours? I can't sit in the toilet for 2 hours. Jesus. Well, I could, but oh no. So my body's doing the same thing. It's like, hey, it's 4. Time to get up. What? Damn it. The worst is like the other day I set my alarm for 5 and I woke up at like 4:40. I was like, oh no. Oh, god damn it. Could have slept for another 20 minutes. God. But truth be told, folks, the early time I think is working out very well. I'm really liking it. It allows me to stream longer if I want to. And I think we're getting some new faces as well. So I think it's working out quite well. We just passed 1,100 followers today, which is exciting. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you at a stream. And as always, a very special thank you to those of you who support us via Twitch subscriptions, like you, Hunter, or Patreon. You can go to spacegamejunkie.com/support if you have anything to spare. If you don't, just tell your friends. We totally get it. Tell your friends. It's a difficult time, and even though I'm not fond of asking, I've been told I should ask. So thank you, everyone who is generous enough to give of your money and your time, because that's even more valuable. With that, we'll bid you a good night. Stay safe, be well, and we'll see you back here not tomorrow, Thursday at 6 a.m. Pacific time for some co-op Vulcanoids. I don't know if it'll be fun as Deep Rock Galactic, but it could very well be close. I mean, it's got a very similar vibe to it.
The single player is very fun.
The single player
we'll have to see how good the multiplayer is.
Fun. Oh my god, the single player is so much fun. Oh my god, you have a drilling ground submarine. How can that not be fun? So folks, we'll see you back here on Thursday morning. Have a great rest of your day and Wednesday. Bye-bye.